Hey guys, it's me, Jordan. Welcome back to my channel. Before we get started,
Introducing the
hit that subscribe button, turn notifications, give me huge thumbs up in today's video. You see this water? I know how to change it. We're going to be using a stamp, and yes, it works.
I'm hungry here in space. Lost my crispy honey flakes.
So let's
Oh,
put this for you guys.
there they float. My sweet honey bunches of oats.
Back.
Patty Melts is loaded. Beef patty,
I
real
don't know.
onions, melty cheese on
It
Texas
works.
toast.
I propose a toast.
Oh, awesome.
Peter, you're dumb.
Okay, this feels more like a roast.
I propose a roast.
Grab a patty melt while they last, and order ahead for happy hour anytime.
And then I have a blue marker,
You inspire us.
and I have other
the way you
markers.
triumph over adversity and live
Does it
your
work?
lives. That's why we redesigned Humira. We wanted to make the
Holy
experience better
heck.
for you. Now there's less pain immediately following injection.
All
We've
right,
reduced
I
the size of
guess
the needle and removed the
just when
citrate
your
buffers.
tattoos don't work
And it has the
anymore,
same effectiveness
get
you know
this,
and
dip
trust.
it in water.
Humira citrate free
Take it,
is here. A
put
little
it on
change
you.
can make a big difference.
Wow.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections.
Okay,
Serious
so
and sometimes
this is
fatal
gonna be
infections,
done.
including tuberculosis and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems. Serious
Oh, yeah,
allergic
and I got a
reactions, and new or worsening
tattoo.
heart failure. Tell your
It's,
doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common,
this-
and if you've had TB,
It's like a
hepatitis
little
B, or
rose
protein
thing with a
infections, or
little,
flu-like symptoms or
with
sores.
that,
Don't
but
start
it's a
thinking of
flower
fungal
in
infection.
it, and then
Ask
there's
your
that,
doctor
and then
about
there's a
Humira citrate free.
rainbow book.
Here's to you.
Alright, so I need to go get like some more water.
Wrinkles send the wrong message.
Sorry.
Help prevent them before they start with new Downy Wrinkle Guard.
The Ceiling Mattress Collection is now at Big Lots. Make your bedroom the best room. Get a queen mattress starting at $279.99 and ask about our special financing options at Big Lots.
And this
You went
cup
to
is
college?
water.
You're smart. So why are you getting ripped off on your student loans? At Credible.com, we've helped tens of thousands of people save money by refinancing their student loans. In 3 minutes, we'll get you actual rates from multiple lenders. We could save you hundreds of dollars a month by refinancing to a lower rate.
Nana,
Don't get
which
ripped
color
off
should
on
I
your
do
student
next?
loans.
Purple,
Let's
pink,
focus on your future, not your
green.
debt.
Visit Credible.com and in 3 minutes, see how much you can save.
I got this mountain bike for only
Purple,
$11.
Dealdash.com, the fair and honest bidding site.
green,
An iPod worth
orange,
$505 was
or
sold for less
blue.
than $24. A PlayStation 4 for less than $16.
Which one?
And a Schultz 4K television for less than $2.
Orange or blue?
These Bluetooth headphones for $20.
I got these 3 suitcases for less than $40.
Orange?
And shipping is always free.
Go to
So we're gonna
Dealdash.com
do
right now and see
orange.
how much you can save.
Hi.
Ordinary tissues
Oh,
burn
puppy.
with feel blows. So Dad bought Puffs
Baby,
Plus
mommy,
lotion and
spend time
rescued
with
his
you later,
nose.
okay?
Puffs have more lotion and
Sorry if
soothing
you
softness
can't
to
see me,
relieve
but
a nose
my
in
puppy
need
likes.
deserves Puffs in
Nana,
hand.
can you call for the baby?
Come here, buddy. Come on. Pampers
So
is the
this-
first and only diaper with air dry channels. They stay up to 3
So
times
there's
drier,
just that.
so babies can sleep soundly all night.
It's clear.
Pampers.
Either you get your shit together or you make the decision to slowly die.
Jackson got special care and killed him.
How many more have to die?
There are true sides to every story. E True Hollywood Story. New Sunday at 10.
You fool me. Oh, how you
That
did
person never was on our radar.
me. Nana, there's gonna be some water on the floor after this. Is that okay?
Up on that little shelf in the corner.
Nana, just so you know, it's just water. It's just water.
Hey.
Nothing else. I
By
did not
December
put any
12,
chemicals in there, else I would
1997,
not
it had been
playing around
72
with it.
hours since Lois K. Cloud's husband, Kenneth, had been shot dead outside
Chelsea.
Yuma, Arizona restaurant.
According to her, she didn't see anything.
Right there in the
But
corner.
another witness had seen a heavy-set Hispanic male leaving the scene.
An individual took off and ran and fled the area.
And now, the investigators had just
Mom, did you
received what
guys
appeared to
see
be a promising tip. A woman had come forward with information that a little over a year earlier, she had introduced Kay Cloud to a man who matched the description of the shooter, Vincent Accardo.
He had gone to the bank that Kay Cloud had worked at and tried to show that he was a huge financial investor.
It wasn't true. According to the caller, Accardo was a con artist.
Who's trying to scam the bank?
Was it possible that Accardo had gone from con man to hitman? When the investigators followed up on the tip, they made a surprising discovery about the night of the murder.
We found that Vince Accardo had come to Yuma and that he was staying across from Burgers and Beer.
And then, a couple days later, a customer service rep from a local car rental agency contacted the investigators with some more interesting information.
Kay Cloud had rented a vehicle a few days prior to the murder.
The vehicle was returned on the day of the murder.
And when the investigators went to the rental car agency, the clerk told them something else, too.
There was a man with her. And
too late, I
had
kinda
a
already
photograph of,
opened it.
Vince Accardo. That's who was with her.
Only hours before her husband was murdered, Kay Cloud had been with a man who matched the description of the killer.
Now, you know she's not telling the truth, she's fulfilling something.
Can you get
Convinced
me
that Kay knew far more about her husband's murder than she had led them to believe, the investigators quietly contacted several of Ken's friends and family. And what they learned hinted at a possible motive. Kenneth wasn't just a successful farmer and millionaire. He was a miser. Friends and family told the investigators that despite all his financial success, Kenneth had stayed true to his frugal country roots.
He didn't want to spend any money.
In fact, Kenneth was so tight-fisted that whenever he and Kay went out to dinner, she had to pick up the check with the money she made at the bank.
Kenny would always say that Kay had to pay for dinner because she wanted to go.
And the same was true for new clothes, a new car, or a new house. Whatever Kay wanted to spend money on, Kenneth was against it.
She wanted to
Alright, so next color.
And the property up in Colorado that they were planning to retire to, according to the family, that had been Kenneth's dream.
Maybe I'll drink it. Can I drink
She
this?
was just livid.
I'm
that he
kidding,
would
I'll
spend
die.
money on property up in
It
Colorado.
says chemicals.
The couple's
Nah, I
fight over
won't
money
drink it because
wasn't
it has
mere
chemicals in it. I was just
According to
kidding.
the
I'm not that
family,
crazy.
The marriage had been in trouble.
I am a
so
little
much
crazy,
so
though.
that just before the murder, Kay and Kenneth had even sought counseling.
That weekend,
What
before
color
they
should I
had
use
gone to
now?
Phoenix to a retreat to try to work out their
Whoa,
marriage.
excuse me.
Apparently,
How about
the
we
retreat
go by
hadn't
order?
gone
Which
well,
color should
at
I
least
use?
not according to what Kenneth had told his brother.
You're left-handed.
Just a few days before he was murdered, he told me that his wife took $6,000
Yeah, I
out
already
of the
did.
account and was planning on leaving.
Purple,
Of
then
course, Kay didn't leave, and that led the investigators to suspect she had done something else with that $6,000.
why does it matter if
Vincent
I'm
Accardo.
right-handed?
She paid him to
Left-handed.
kill her husband.
That's what the investigators believe.
Thanks for the
so
rainbow,
after uncovering the
left-handed
information
edition.
about her troubled marriage and the rental car, the investigators brought Kay in for another round of questioning.
I confronted her about renting a car for this guy. That's when she came out and she said yes, that they were friends and that he'd come to town and she'd rented the car for him.
Kay even admitted that she had visited Accardo at his hotel room prior to the shooting.
I'm
Although
good.
according to her,
Not like I
it was
just
entirely
fell on the
innocent.
cup and
I
spilled all the
started
water.
inside just kind of chuckling to myself, saying, yeah, right,
the cop
you
didn't get
know.
hurt.
As far as the investigators were concerned,
Yeah, you didn't
everything was falling
Yes, I
into
did.
place. But
Right
the
there, it
prosecutors
fell on the
weren't so
rim.
sure
Right here?
just yet.
Yeah, ow, ow.
Was their circumstantial
right
case
here.
enough to convince a jury?
Yeah, I gotta go get a
He just
refill.
couldn't get to the next step as far as, you know, proof beyond a reasonable doubt.
What they needed was Vincent Accardo.
If I arrest her for conspiracy, it's not going to go anywhere because I don't have the shooter.
And if Kay had paid Accardo to kill her husband, the investigators figured they knew a pretty good way to find him.
We started looking at the Cloud finances and the money trail.
Although, when they looked into Kay's finances, the investigators soon realized that the money trail wouldn't be hard to follow. Barely more than a week after Ken's murder, Kay was moving money around at an astonishing pace.
She was spending a lot on just luxurious items that she never ever purchased before.
She moved into town. She bought her a new car. She bought her daughter a new car.
And thanks to Kenneth's sizable estate and a lifetime's worth of valuable assets, she could easily afford
Man, look, it's clear.
She'd sold 120 acres
Watch.
of property for around $1 million. Not long after
Oh, it's
the murder
still
had taken
clear.
place.
It's turning purple.
She also sold Kenneth's
Ready?
prime
You see how
Colorado
the thing is
property,
dark
the
purple?
place where he dreamed of retiring.
She, like, almost immediately sold that piece of property. She literally gave it away.
Purple.
Because she did not get out of it what they paid for it.
Kenneth's family was appalled, and not just because of the bad deals that Kay made.
The property that they had, she kept selling. And of course, it was supposed to go to the kids.
Kay's rapid liquidation of Kenneth's assets appeared to confirm the investigators' suspicion about her motive. But even more interesting, buried within her financial records were numerous payouts to the suspected hitman.
She was writing checks out to Vincent Accardo. These amounts were anywhere from hundreds of dollars to thousands of dollars.
She had also bought him a motorcycle and a Lincoln Continental.
They went to the dealers. The motorcycle, when she bought it for him, she registered it to Vincent.
Now
we
you
knew they were
can
together.
see.
We knew they were seeing each other.
Despite the money trail connecting Kay and Vincent, the investigators were unable to find him.
He fled Yuma.
And even a subpoena of Kay's phone records failed to reveal where he was.
They did a good job in hiding themselves. They did a good job in not talking.
And with Accardo gone underground, most likely living under an alias, the case began to grow cold. Months passed, and then years. But even as Kay continued living off the proceeds of her husband's murder, Kenneth's family and the Yuma police were determined to see that she wouldn't get away with it.
We would come
I'm
in
gonna
about
do this
every
stamp because I gotta
2 or
cut
3
it.
months, wanting to know what was going on with the case.
And 5 years later, at the end of 2002, the latest batch of phone records provided a solid lead.
We get the records, and we're looking at it, and pow, there's a number we've never seen before.
Kay had finally slipped up, revealing just how she had kept her contact with Accardo hidden. She had a secret phone, a prepaid burner.
What tripped her up on that was she used her regular cell phone, the number we had, and apparently she was checking her voicemail on the secret phone, and that's how that number came up.
And now that they had the number, the investigators were able to pull the records for it. They revealed that it was being used almost exclusively to call one number, a residential landline in McAllen, Texas. Had the authorities finally found the elusive Accardo? A short stakeout of the house confirmed it.
He was living in a very affluent neighborhood, in a gated community.
Puzzled, the Yuma police obtained a warrant to tap the phone at the McAllen house.
Once the phones were wiretapped, Yuma police were able to listen in on the conversations between Lois K. Cloud and Vincent Accardo.
But would they ever mention the murder? After more than 5 years, there was no guarantee. So the investigators came up with a plan to
had to go
things
to
along.
Our plan was to put an article in the newspaper about the murder.
As predicted, the appearance of the article on April 26, 2003 prompted Kay to place a call to Vincent.
Now
a worried call.
There's a picture of Vincent Accardo. That's not Kay. They said they would like to talk to him.
There's a long pause.
It's our.
It's words were they're closer than I thought.
I could color my hair with this.
Sent Kay into a panic.
I am sick at my stomach. I am gonna die. What do we do?
Then, as the investigators listened in, Accardo urged Kay to sell the last of the farmland she'd inherited from her husband.
One minute it would be I love you. The next minute it would be him trying to elicit as much money that he could from K Cloud. She said just as soon as she could get the rest of the property sold, she
Nana,
would
what do
give
you
him the
think
money
I'm
and they
gonna
would
have
run
a
off together.
brother?
There was absolutely no doubt. Listen to those wiretaps. The Vincent and Carter murdered Kenneth. There's
I
absolutely
think
no
I'm
doubt
gonna have a
that K Cloud
brother.
knew about that.
However, despite Vincent's assurances to Kay that they would run off together, it
God,
didn't
give me a
appear that he would wait
brother.
for her. On April 28th,
Please,
while the
God.
Arizona and Texas authorities were arranging for arrest warrants
She
and
even wants a
extradition,
brother,
the
right?
detectives keeping the McAllen house under surveillance
want
watched
a boy?
as Vincent loaded up his SUV.
He's made some comments early on that he made
I'm
people
gonna
who
go
were
ask
definitely
David
concerned
if
about
he wants
that.
a boy.
In fact, he almost made it to the border before the police pulled
Wanna
him
what?
over and made the arrest.
Why?
Just outside Brownsville, Texas, that we made the decision.
I'm sure.
That same day, detectives in Yuma knocked on the door of the new home Lois K. Cloud had bought after her husband's death.
She answers the door. It said K Cloud during the arrest for the murder of Kenneth Brown.
Coming up, can the prosecutors convict Kay?
She looked like the grandmother who wouldn't hurt a fly.
Or can she convince the jury that Accardo acted alone?
David said a boy with two heads.
Story to be told. I grabbed the knife and I stabbed him. My intent was not to hurt him.
Snapped behind bars. Sheila Davalu, Sunday, December 1st at 6 on Oxygen.
Introducing the Mix and Matchosaurus.
Look at the color.
Combine the
I
types
haven't
of
used
27
glue
ways
yet.
to create fun songs that encourage imaginative play.
Let's do a monster dance.
The Mix and Matchosaurus, part of this fun family of toys from VTech. Batteries not included, each sold separately.
As a struggling actor, I need all the breaks that I can get. At Liberty Butcherman. Liberty Line.
But Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Cut. Liberty. Am I allowed to riff? What if I come out of the water? Liberty Bibbity.
We'll have it.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for
Hey,
what
well,
you
I'm
need.
using glue
Only pay
anyway,
for what
so.
you need.
Liberty, 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 Liberty.
Nobody gets your carpet, tile, or hardwood.
Glue I can't use a lot because this is my favorite color. So I'm gonna use it like that. It works.
If you live with diabetes, why finger stick when you can scan? With the Freestyle Libre 14-day system, just scan the sensor with your reader, iPhone, or Android and manage your diabetes. With the Freestyle Libre 14-day system, a continuous glucose monitor, you can check your glucose levels anytime without finger sticks. Ask your doctor to write a prescription for the Freestyle Libre 14-day system. You can do it without finger sticks. Learn more at freestylelibre.us.
Trident Tropical Beat vibes start with a light crystal coating, then change into a smooth gum with bursts of mango peach flavor that pop and pop, pop, pop. Trident vibes, brought to you by Trident.
I'm Jimmy Dean, and only one thing can make a morning like this any nicer. A hearty, hefty, good
It
tasting
doesn't have
breakfast.
anything white because
Eggs, bacon, sausage, cheese, potatoes. And when you finish, you know you had something to eat.
In our house, things get out of control fast, especially in the litter room. Now I use Arm & Hammer Cloud Control. It's 100% dust-free with no cloud of nasties. So I'm in control. Arm & Hammer. More power to you.
Refill.
Gucci
Can you
Blue.
fill this up with water?
The fragrance for her.
At Domino's, a delivery gone wrong doesn't just hurt your pizza night.
It hurts our pride. We're going to be expediting this order.
It could be a missing dipping sauce. It could be a wrong topping. It arrives cold.
With Domino's new delivery insurance, if your delivery isn't what you expected, make a claim, and we'll make it right.
I know you had an issue with your last delivery.
To make up for it, I brought you a medium pizza.
Get 2 medium, 2 topping pizzas delivered for $5.99.
Add delivery insurance to the test.
Oh, that's medicine. I thought it was
Here's
a
another
cheat.
tough one. Keep or toss.
Sometimes humans are boring.
Are you ready?
Long-lasting rawhide-free gnaw-bones are not. New from Milk-Bone.
Any woman can be a shoe dazzle woman. There's just something for everyone. It doesn't matter how high, if it's a sandal, it's a boot. They're so sexy. These make me feel like a rock star. You should just try it out, and from there you're gonna fall in love.
Get your first pair for $10 only at shoedazzle.com.
I instantly raised my FICO score by 18 points. I was really excited to get 3 new card offers. Oh, the
And then at the end,
Boost your credit scores
I'm gonna
instantly
use
with Experian Boost.
all
Free
of
only at
them.
Experian.com/boost.
He really loved her.
He had multiple stab wounds to his upper torso.
It looked personal.
On February 25th, 2010, Lois K. Cloud finally went on trial for murder. It had been 12 years since her husband had been gunned down outside a Yuma, Arizona restaurant, and 7 long years of legal maneuvering had passed since
I'm not
her
filming
arrest.
done yet.
It went on for many years.
I'm still
Well-known
filming.
family. The death sentence was being sought. It was such a huge ordeal.
I don't
And
know.
the ordeal had aged Kay.
Ruining my markers.
She looked like a grandmother, just a sweet, older lady who wouldn't hurt a
There's
fly.
still a little
The
bit
fact
of
that the
ink.
60-year-old made an unlikely
And
looking
now
killer
I
wasn't
gotta-
the only thing working in her favor. The man she was accused of hiring to commit the murder wouldn't be testifying against her. Arrested in 2003, he refused to turn on Kay or confess to the crime.
It was a little bit frustrating they couldn't get that last bit of information to say he pulled the trigger.
However, Vincent Accardo's denials didn't prevent him from being tried and convicted of Kenneth's murder in 2008.
Vincent Accardo
I
was
wonder
given the
how
death
it will
penalty
react with
for
some.
his role in the murder.
Now, 2 years later, the prosecutor opened Kay's trial by telling the jury that she was just as guilty.
Did you ask if I shut him off?
And according to the prosecution, it was no
I was gonna say, I didn't
coincidence
touch
that she
him.
had hired
I checked the
Accardo
oven
to
because
kill
I
her.
didn't know.
She was having an affair with
And
him.
it was off, so I
It
didn't.
was, in fact, the one thing that Accardo had confessed to his arrest.
What is
Purple.
And according to the prosecutors, that's why Kay had paid for the hit on her husband. They called the investigators to the stand to explain how Kay had paid off Accardo in a series of installments, starting with that first $6,000 she had withdrawn from the bank days before the murder.
And I said, well, did you give Accardo any of the money? And she said, no. And then I asked her, well, what did you do with the money? And she did answer that question.
And Kenneth and Kay's Last Supper. According to the prosecution, it was all a setup. They claimed that when she walked out of the restaurant with her husband that night, Kay knew what was coming.
They even separated with a kiss. I remember thinking that was a Judas kiss.
Although she gained much more than 30 pieces of silver from her husband's death.
She was the sole inheritor of the property. She was an inheritor of a life insurance policy.
They had a forensic accountant who went through K-Cloud's financial records, and they did an accounting of how much money they could track.
And then there was the money they couldn't track, almost $600,000.
Prosecutors believe a major portion of that, if not all of it, went to Accardo.
But the most dramatic moment of the prosecution's
Done
case
filming.
came when they played the jury tapes of the intercepted phone calls between
here,
Kay
you're gonna
and
get-
Accardo.
As the wiretaps, the phone calls were played to the jury, there was a lot of shock. There was a lot of mouths that were open.
Jordan, you want
But
your
did the
supper?
fact that Kay and Accardo were talking
Wait, you
prove
did?
that they had planned
told
his
you it's
murder
right there.
together?
Oh, I couldn't
When the
hear
defense
you.
started presenting its case,
Oh, you did?
they
I couldn't-
argued that Accardo had
Sorry.
acted alone.
There was no actual physical evidence of her, being involved in the crime.
And the reason was simple, according to the defense.
She had been preyed upon by a con man.
He got the thought
Look
that she
at
was
all
another
that.
right victim and took advantage.
To explain just how she had been taken advantage of, her attorneys called Kay to testify in her own defense.
She was always very calm, but there were some times that she got emotional.
Especially when she talked about her relationship with Kenneth. On the stand, she insisted that she loved her husband, even when he was a hard man to love.
She told the jury that Ken was at times mean to her. He was very, very involved with his agriculture, his farm, so she felt like at times she was neglected.
I think she just got really lonely.
And then Vincent Accardo had walked into the bank where she worked.
She talked about how he seemed very charming when she first met him.
Although according to Kay, she hadn't immediately succumbed to his charms. Kay told the jury that despite his advances, they were only friends.
She said that they did start talking and stuff, but
Alright.
there was nothing really intimate.
But Kay claimed that hadn't stopped her from making an intimate confession to Accardo in November of 1997. According to Kay, she told Accardo that she was planning to leave her husband.
She said it wasn't the loving relationship that it was when they first got together.
And a few weeks after she'd supposedly told Accardo about her marital troubles, Kenneth was dead.
She became extremely emotional. I remember when she talked about the night that he was shot. She had a breakdown on the stand, whether it was from guilt or whether that was because she genuinely loved him.
Then, once she recovered her composure, Kay said that she had confronted Accardo about the shooting.
I did this a long time ago.
Pick up that water before you start. Stop.
The question was asked is if she thought that Vincent Accardo was the person that killed her husband, and she said no.
Bye.
But why would she want to confront